From straw-filled nests to the glittering banquet halls of Europe, the goose has shaped one of the most controversial stories in agriculture. Each year, over 400 million geese are raised, fueling an industry worth more than $44 billion. At the heart of it lies foie gras, a dish praised for its golden richness and velvety flavor, yet condemned by critics as a symbol of cruelty. This tension between luxury and ethics has turned goose farming into far more than a business. It is a cultural and economic battleground. Welcome to AgriWorks USA, where we uncover the hidden journeys behind the world's most extraordinary foods. In today's video, we'll follow the path from fragile eggs and growing goslings to the controversial fattening process and the high-end markets that demand this delicacy. Along the way, you'll see not just the methods, but also the debates shaping its future. So join us and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to explore more with AgriWorks USA. The history of foie gras reaches back over 4,000 years, with ancient Egyptian murals showing farmers hand-feeding geese to enlarge their livers. The practice spread to Greece and Rome, where goose liver was considered a delicacy reserved for nobility. By the Middle Ages, it had become a fixture on aristocratic tables across Europe, evolving into one of France's most celebrated traditions. Today, France produces about 70% of the world's foie gras, and the dish is most associated with festive banquets in December, when millions of households serve it as a seasonal luxury. Beyond cuisine, foie gras is recognized by UNESCO as part of French cultural heritage, defended by many as an artisanal craft passed through generations. Yet its meaning is contested, admired for its golden richness and buttery texture, but criticized by animal welfare advocates as a symbol of cruelty. This tension between cultural legacy and modern ethics defines foie gras' unique place in global gastronomy. The journey of foie gras begins in early spring, when geese are encouraged to lay eggs in straw-lined nest boxes that mimic natural habitats. Each egg is carefully collected, numbered, and linked to the parent goose for genetic traceability. In modern farms, eggs are placed in automated incubators kept at 37.5 degrees Celsius, where they are gently rotated and regularly candled with light to monitor embryo growth. After about 30 days of incubation, goslings hatch, weighing just 120 grams and covered in soft yellow down. At this stage, female goslings are often culled, since males are preferred for their size and liver yield. The surviving chicks are moved to heated nurseries with rice husk bedding and infrared lamps, maintained around 30 degrees before gradually cooling to ambient conditions. For the first weeks, their diet consists of ground corn, rice bran, and vitamins, designed to build uniform bone and muscle growth. With daily monitoring, mortality remains relatively low, ensuring a steady supply of strong young birds for later fattening stages. Are you surprised that each goose egg must be incubated at exactly 37.5 hours to hatch successfully? Do you think automatic incubators take away the natural element of farming? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more from AgriWorks USA. By the age of 6 weeks, goslings shed their soft yellow down and begin forming adult plumage, their bodies now weighing 3.5 kilograms. At this stage, they graduate from heated nurseries into semi-open pastures or wide pens, where sunlight, fresh air, and access to ponds strengthen their muscles while lowering stress. Farmers recognize that calmer geese not only grow faster, but also develop healthier organs, directly influencing the eventual quality of foie gras. Their diet gradually shifts from a simple starter mash to a carefully balanced, protein-rich blend of corn, rice bran, vegetables, and insects, adjusted weekly to ensure steady weight gain. Routine health checks include vaccinations, mineral supplements, and precise monitoring of flock density. Without such measures, disease can spread quickly and mortality may rise from 5% to 8%, threatening both welfare and profitability. By 10 to 12 weeks, the geese weigh 4 to 5 kilograms, with glossy feathers and strong immunity. Though less visible to the public eye, this period of growth is crucial because only well-cared-for birds can endure the demanding, fattening phase ahead, a stage that will ultimately transform them into the source of one of the world's most controversial luxury foods. By the time geese reach 12 to 14 weeks of age, they are ushered into the fattening stage, a process long known as gavage. For 15 to 18 days, keepers deliver 1.2–1.5 kilograms of corn mash per bird each day, around 7 times what a goose would naturally consume. The feed, funneled through a slender metal or plastic tube, takes only seconds to administer, designed to minimize stress while ensuring rapid and uniform liver growth. Within this short window, the transformation is dramatic. A liver that normally weighs 60–80 grams swells to an astonishing 400–600 grams, developing the creamy, buttery texture and golden sheen that make foie gras one of the most prized delicacies in European cuisine. For chefs, it represents mastery of technique and tradition. For animal welfare advocates, it remains a stark reminder of forced excess. Reports highlight strained breathing, restricted mobility, and mortality rates climbing as high as 10% during the cycle. Farmers defend the practice, noting advances in hygiene, automated feeding systems, and constant monitoring to reduce harm. Yet this stage lies at the very heart of a centuries-old controversy, a product exalted on Michelin-starred tables, but condemned by many as a violation of animal dignity. How do you feel knowing that each goose is fed up to 7 times its normal intake in just 18 days? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Once the fattening cycle ends, geese typically weigh 6 to 7 kilograms and are prepared for slaughter. To reduce stress, many farms use CO2 stunning before processing. The birds are then immersed in water heated to about 62 to 65 degrees C, loosening feathers for hand or machine plucking. This careful handling preserves the delicate skin, an essential feature for premium markets. At this stage, skilled workers extract the liver with meticulous precision, evaluating weight, texture, and color. Only those that reach the ideal 400–600 grams, with a pale golden surface free of blemishes, are classified as Grade A foie gras. They are chilled immediately to 0.4 degrees to maintain freshness. Some livers are sliced into 1.52 centimeter cuts and flash frozen at 18 degrees, while others are transformed into pâté. In processing facilities, foie gras is blended with stock, spices, and wine, sealed in sterilized tins, and subjected to high-pressure processing, HPP, for safety and flavor retention. Alongside the prized liver, goose breast, thigh, and wing cuts are vacuum-packed for distribution, while down feathers are sorted for bedding and luxury garments, ensuring nearly every part of the bird enters global markets. Foie gras anchors a global goose farming industry valued at over $44 billion, with annual production around 25,000 tons, nearly 70% of it concentrated in France. In fine dining, premium foie gras commands prices of $40–60 per pound, a golden ingredient that transforms farms into some of Europe's most profitable agricultural enterprises. Yet the liver is only the beginning of the bird's economic story. A mature goose yields 4 to 5 kilograms of meat, with the breast, tender and richly flavored, fetching high prices in restaurants and increasingly exported across Asia. Feathers and down, renowned for their lightness and warmth, trade at $100, $150 per kilogram, filling luxury bedding and winter fashion markets. Even rendered goose fat, once a rustic staple, finds its way into gourmet kitchens, artisanal soaps, and cosmetic creams. This near-total utilization, liver to meat, feathers to fat, ensures that goose farming remains not just lucrative, but deeply embedded in rural Europe. In villages where the practice spans generations, every harvest supports local families, ties tradition to commerce, and keeps alive a centuries-old balance of necessity and luxury. Here the goose is more than poultry. It is an economic pillar dressed in feathers. Have you ever tasted foie gras? In your opinion, what keeps this delicacy alive? Massive profits or the weight of European culinary tradition? Share your view below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more insights from AgriWorks USA. Despite its massive economic value, foie gras remains one of the most controversial products in modern agriculture. The heart of the debate lies in the gavage feeding process, where each goose is given up to 1.5 kilograms of ground corn per day through a feeding tube, causing its liver to enlarge 7 to 10 times its natural size. Animal rights organizations argue that this method induces pain, stress, and increases mortality rates to as high as 10% during the short 2 to 3 week fattening period. Countries such as the UK, Germany, and Italy have banned foie gras production, while France and Hungary continue to defend it as a cultural and culinary heritage. Meanwhile, researchers in some farms are experimenting with alternative methods, mimicking the goose's natural tendency to store fat in its liver during migration, rather than relying on forced feeding. These innovations hint at a potential compromise between preserving centuries-old gastronomy and improving animal welfare, though widespread adoption remains a significant challenge. The foie gras industry faces a turning point. While it fuels a $44 billion market, it is increasingly challenged by animal welfare concerns and consumer pressure. Several countries have banned force feeding, yet France continues to defend foie gras as an emblem of cultural heritage. In response, some farms are exploring alternative methods, from leveraging the goose's natural fattening instincts to designing specialized diets that enlarge the liver without gavage. Future trends suggest a divided path. Traditional production will persist for markets that demand authenticity, while ethical foie gras may emerge as a premium choice for consumers seeking both luxury and humane practices. This shift could redefine not only how foie gras is produced, but also how it is perceived, balancing culinary prestige with growing calls for sustainability and compassion. Foie gras continues to shine as a culinary treasure, praised for its elegance and taste, yet questioned for the cost it exacts on animal welfare. Each golden slice represents not only centuries of tradition, but also a modern ethical dilemma. Should indulgence outweigh compassion? As consumers and producers face growing calls for sustainability, the future of foie gras may depend on innovation, finding ways to honor craftsmanship while respecting life. In this balance between heritage and humanity, the story of foie gras becomes more than food. It becomes a mirror of our values. Subscribe to AgriWorks USA, ring the bell, and explore more untold stories of food and farming with us. Thank you for watching.